I'm Kat, and this is KatsWonderbox. So today's video was inspired by CrescentCat's video in which she talks about how she made her Nora costume, and it's very cute, she's very sweet and adorable, so please check it out. I'll put the link here and also down in the description for any mobile users. Also, for anybody who would like to skip to a certain time, for my costume, I put the parts and the times right here. And without further ado, let's continue with the video.
Alright, so first on the list is Nora's white shirt. Now this was all hand sewn and I did it by using a 4-way stretch fabric that I found on Amazon. I also drafted the pattern myself by simply taking a sleeveless shirt and doubling the front and the back. So that means there were 4 pieces in total and I just sewed it all together. Now since spandex doesn't really fray, I simply left the top part of the heart alone and tucked in the bottom part so that both pieces were connected. On to Nora's corset. Now this was mostly hand sewn except for the back part where I had to attach the flaps to the back. I used some leftover fabric from a friend and drafted the pattern myself. Now, if anybody would like to see how I made it completely, I do have a tutorial up already on my channel. Next is Nora's skirt. Now this was also all hand sewn and I used an old pink bedsheet that I had and used this tutorial by Yumi King on how to make it. The only difference is that I added pockets because you can never have too many of those at a con. As for the ruffles on the bottom of Nora's skirt, I used a petticoat that I bought on Amazon. On to the shoes. Now these were made using black combat boots that I already had and I simply painted them using Americana multi-surface satin acrylic paint. Whew, that's a lot. It only took about 2 to 3 coats for it, and I used the colors Cotton Ball for the whole shoe and Pink Flamingo, I believe, for the heel of the shoe. As for the pink flaps on Nora's shoes, I simply took some leftover fabric from the skirt and just glued it around inside the shoe. Now this is where we start getting to the smaller pieces of the costume, starting with the wig. Now I used a long heat-resistant wig that I found on Amazon that I simply cut and styled with a curling iron. Then when it came time to store the wig, I simply used a hair tie and tied it into a bun like so that the curls stayed in place. And that's pretty much it for the wig. On to Nora's armor. Now I separated this into 3 parts and attached it using Velcro. As for the materials to make this, I simply just used foam and paint. Now onto the gloves and the arm thingy armbands? Yes. Okay, so the armbands were made using a white sleeve that I cut and rolled in the edges so it looked nice. As for the gloves, I simply took some pink winter gloves that I cut off the fingers to. And finally, Nora's weapon MAGNHILD. Now I used this tutorial by Axelerationcosplay to start the base for this weapon, in which I screwed 2 buckets to a pole and covered it in expanding foam and paper mache. Once that was done, I simply added the details by using foam and painted over it till I was satisfied. And here are some pictures of the finished costume. If you would like to see more, I have posted some on Cosplay Amino.
Pretty much it. I really love this costume to bits, and it's been so much fun to make, despite the fact that I had to basically hand sew everything. But either way, I really love this character, and I definitely hope to be cosplaying her sometime soon. And with that in mind, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Now to close these blinds because I'm embarrassed by the outside world and I don't want my neighbors to find out that I do videos. Yeah.